Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning.
Here we are again.
It's the type of news. I'm Dr. Pyramid.
With something we're tired of talking about.
That's Bruce Robinson. And here we are, like my colleague says.
So like the sixth time? Seventh time?
We are not going to beat a dead horse, but what we are going to say is what in the HELL? Like, how many whippings must this government take? They've lost twice. Now, I think one loss was on the
UVA.
Yeah, and now one loss on the PLP, but I'm talking about the establishment. Because both of them sucked when it came to this topic. And that is same-sex marriage. And I kind of lump them both together. I mean, people say, well, the UVA didn't stop it. Yeah, but it didn't exactly legislate it either. So the government as a whole has taken 2 losses to this topic. And now we are going to make ourselves look like fools once again by contesting for appealing it. Now, here's the thing. All the reasons why this is stupid have already been said by us. But what I'm trying to understand, schools don't have Wi-Fi yet. Budget ain't balanced yet. All of these things that we have on the table right now, as far as education goes, as far as healthcare goes, sugar tax. And here we are again, wasting government resources on trying to dictate how people can live their lives. I don't understand. There is no reason besides religion that can justify
bigotry and stupidity.
If
dumbassery.
If you like to suck your wife's toes in the bedroom,
that's just unsanitary.
That's up to you. Okay? Wherever you want to put your tongue in the bedroom, that's up to you.
It seems like a few men was trying to take the same sex bill like to suck some other things.
But my thing is,
closed doors.
But how is it that any unsightly thing, because remember the Bible says that sex is only for procreation.
And that technically any other sex that's not top-down, male-female is sodomization. So all the fun stuff is just against the Bible.
So whenever you have sex for any sort of pleasurable reasons or doing a whole lot of foolishness in there, you know, like they say, the bed of...
not to be crude, but doesn't the Bible say if you pull out, like, didn't God strike someone down for doing that?
Well, my thing is any sort of penetration before marriage. You don't have to... But my issue is...
Well, 90% of us go to hell.
Yeah, but my issue is...
I'm on the highway.
Why are we gonna continue to go down this road as a country with the amount of issues that we have on the table?
We have bigger fish to fry. Like, for real.
We're just very disappointed that the government is gonna appeal again. It's like, let it die.
Just leave it. Just like, listen, just be like, okay, we have more important things to do. Clearly you don't. Clearly this is more important than the budget. Clearly this is more important than education. Clearly this is more important than fixing the building schools. Clearly this is more important than making sure our seniors are okay. Clearly this is more important than refurbishing the regiment. Clearly this is more important than anything. Because this is all we hear about. And this is all that you always see the government focused on. And it's irritating because it's like the Supreme Court has passed this twice. Twice. And the only legal way that they can do it, that the government can repeal it, is if they change the Human Rights Act part of the Constitution. Which would essentially tell gay people that they're not worth human rights. Basic human rights. Now, the court favored in this, once again, because frankly...
Different judge.
Different judge? Was different judge?
Mm-hmm.
Now...
First it was Adam, then it was Ian.
Mm-hmm. And this, it would, if to get repealed, it would have to go to the Privy Council, yes? Mm. Which is made up of who?
Listen. Here's my issue. Okay?
I have a list.
The PLP's platform was to make Bermuda fairer for all. Yes? When you ran your election, you had a lot of support from the black LGBTQ community within this country. A lot of PLP supporters campaign side by side with people of homosexual sexual orientation.
Some PLP members protested on one side of them.
Okay? You've worked with these folks. They worked with you to put you in government. Okay? I'm not understanding what the hang up is, because I don't know if everyone thinks that a lot of people in the LGBTQ community want to get married here. They don't. It's not gonna start just like that. It's just that they need the option just as much as we do. It's like, okay, I want to get married in 2020. No one knows when Bruce is gonna get married, right?
If the final woman crazy enough.
Yeah, he has the option. Now, to say that you're passing same-sex marriage and then people are gonna get married is an assumption. Some might, some won't. But the point is, why is what happens in their bedroom so much more important than what happens in any heterosexual's bedroom? I mean, you are completely ignoring all of the heterosexual crimes that we've had in this: domestic abuse, pedophilia. You know, it's just, why? No one has given me any justification as to why this battle is so important that you would go and fight it twice. I don't think anybody's done that.
Let me ask something. To the people that watching this that are against same-sex marriage and want the government to spend its time and your money, well, our money really,
All our money,
to fight this, let me ask you something. Would you prefer them to take away same-sex marriage, to spend time and money taking away same-sex marriage, or would you prefer them to spend time and money fixing our schools, making sure our kids got a decent education, making the college more attractive to Bermudian students,
opening up a medical school?
Would you prefer the government to spend their time and money balancing the budget, lowering the cost of living? Like, these are things that the government pledged to do, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, cool. Well, we don't see them doing that. We see them fighting same-sex marriage. So I'm going to ask people about this again. Would you rather prefer the government to do their jobs and make Bermuda easier to live for Bermudians, or would you prefer them to spend time fighting same-sex marriage? I would prefer my government to do their goddamn jobs, but unfortunately, I don't always get what I want.
Well, like we said, all I heard is for the children, and I don't want my children exposed to this. Well,
what if your child grows up gay and wants to get married?
Well, here's the thing: Netflix, Facebook, YouTube,
the internet,
Twitter,
TV, kids in their schools.
LGBTQ is everywhere. We've even had drag shows here. Like, we've had drag shows here, so it's not going away.
Wasn't Sybil considered the Queen of Bermuda?
Yes, she
Didn't
would.
he march in England with a sash that said Queen of Bermuda?
Yes,
representing us.
Yes, she did. And I feel as though we had no problem.
Wasn't he driving bus?
He does.
Yeah. And we didn't have a problem with him driving bus.
This is the thing, we had no problem with them working within our community. We have no problem with getting their vote. We have no problem having them hang our signs. You know, PLP putting Bermudians first. We have no problem with that. Let them hang the signs, let them do all that, but don't ask us for marriage. We're not going to give you that because the majority of our supporters don't support that. But a majority of your supporters don't support making deals with the Canadians, but yeah, here you are. And a majority of our supporters don't necessarily support, you know, Bitcoin, but yeah, here we are. So it's like,
or ATVs.
Yeah. So what exactly is your benchmark for this? It's to maintain your church following? Well, I mean, come on. We had a big scandal in the church just right.
I was about to say, didn't the church following shepherd have a couple black sheep in his flock?
Like, Bermuda is honestly, its organizations like Preserve Marriage are a joke. Like, after scandals like that in America, even if you have, in America, there's a sheriff going down right now for sending a picture in a group chat that had a minor in it and he didn't even send it to her directly. He sent it in a group chat. And just because the minor saw the content of that, he is up. His career is going. In Bermuda, you can get away with murder, her racial slurs, your leader or one of your leaders in preserved marriage being homosexual. Like, that should discredit
the entire operation.
But it doesn't, because people here just continuously look the other way for their own bias. And I don't see anything in this country that warrants accountability. We vote in governments, we look away, we leave them there. You know, a lot of PLP people voted in the PLP, haven't looked since. The people voted in the OB didn't look since. You know, we just don't have any accountability in this country. You know, we have people in our society that are homosexual, that are doing quite well and paying their taxes and paying their dues and everything that we do, and we have no issue with that. But yet, with this particular point, we have an issue with. And like I said, if you don't want marriage to have legal connotations and you want to keep marriage to the church, then let's strip it of all of its legal ties. That means you don't get necessarily able to take person's wealth, you don't get any privy to the assets, you don't nothing. There'll just be a strictly religious ceremony that Christians can keep to themselves, and the rest of us will all adhere to another contract.
Because the thing is, originally they said the marriage is between a man and a woman. That is, by biblical terms, true. But back in the day, first of all, they didn't even have paper to make marital contracts when it was conceived.
Because it wasn't legal.
What?
Because it wasn't legal.
It had nothing legal about it. It says, we do a ceremony, this is my wife, this is my husband, that's it. There was no paperwork or anything. There was no legality to it when it was originally conceived.
Because they were the contract.
I mean, everybody says, oh, Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve. There was no other women on the planet!
But
if you believe that stuff.
But they were the contract. Like, back in the day, marriage was meant to acquiesce wealth and assets. So it's like, okay.
No, it became that. But originally, marriage was done so people could procreate. That's it. Two people, I said, I like you, you like me, let's get married, we're together. Boom. That's it. No paper. Because they didn't have paper back then.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I mean, that's the religious way of looking at it. But if you look at history, you understand
history
it's always come with wealth or assets. Like, if I marry this woman in different societies, like in Africa, you know, typically the woman maintained her wealth way back in
because Africa was way more progressive than Europe.
You have Europeans where it's like, you know, I marry this woman, I seize her wealth, her assets. So it's like a lot of times marriage was, all that. But I mean, a lot of times marriage was created by, you know, the Catholicism and all this Catholics. To keep people in line. So the Catholic Church said to England, well, you know, all of my Christians need to stay in line. So your son needs to marry the Princess of Spain, and, you know, we keep those ties.
Even though they were first cousins?
Yeah. And my thing is, with the mood and the air of Bermudians, where it's like we have this racial tensions and we have all of this, you know, black this, black that, and, you know, it's our time, we don't want no part of that. But you don't want to keep them, but you'll keep their religion. Because it ain't your religion. Christianity is not your religion. Christianity was used to enslave you. Christianity was used by the people who got on a boat and brought you over here.
And put you on a boat.
Whipped our ancestors until they did not accept their own names. Infiltrated society until they could understand what was going on and get everyone to forsake their mother tongues and cultures, and indoctrinated them into this religion of a white Jesus that was used to keep all the blacks in line. How can you be against whites and hold on to their religion so vehemently and still want to uphold their rules? Because in Africa, we were polyamorous. We were marrying tons of women. Yeah, wives of the yin-yang.
Look, we've been through all this before. Like, the hypocrisy is evident because you're okay with shrimp, pork, you're okay with premarital sex, you're okay with working on the Sabbath, you're okay with not going to church, you're okay with having sex without procreating. Look, no one wants to be told how to live their lives. Because if you went to the average Bermudian and said, listen, you can't go to church on Sunday, and they'll be like, what do you mean I can't go to church on Sunday? You can't tell me I can't go to church on Sunday. It is an unalienable right that I can go to church on Sunday because I choose to go to church on Sunday. See where we're going with this?
That's right.
What you do is your life. Stop trying to tell other people how to live their lives. I'm done with this crap.
Well, else we're gonna organize a giant homosexual origin in the park.
Please don't.
A big orgy in the park, and then you all have to just walk across and look at it, and then it'll be your problem. Anyway, this is the type of news. I'm Dutch Pyramid. That's Bruce Robinson.